Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air. Did the FBI halt an alleged terror plot targeting Jews in New York City? What we're just learning. Also tonight, the dramatic scene in court today. The 14-year-old alleged school shooter. Moments later, his father shackled and in court too, both charged. And later tonight here, we remember a music legend. You'll know his sound. First tonight, the 14-year-old alleged school shooter shackled while in court for the murders of 2 students and 2 teachers at his high school. Minutes later, his father in the same courtroom in front of the same judge, emotional and rocking back and forth in his chair. Both tonight charged with murder. Sources telling ABC News the father gave his son an AR-15 style rifle for Christmas. That breaking headline in New York City, the FBI foiling an alleged plot to kill Jewish people in New York. The arrest in Aaron Katersky with what he's learned. The ABC News presidential debate just 4 days away next Tuesday night. The major news tonight involving Donald Trump and when he'll be sentenced in the hush money case in New York. What the judge said today about the date now set and the election. The other major political headline, George W. Bush's Vice President Dick Cheney saying he will vote for Kamala Harris, the conservative Republican and foreign policy hawk, and what he's now saying tonight about why he's voting for the vice president. In other news, the American woman allegedly shot and killed by Israeli forces during a protest in the West Bank. Here in the U.S., we're tracking flash flooding concerns across several states, and in the Northeast, the Sept system set to hit Philadelphia up through New York City. Meteorologist Cecily Tynan is here. The Boston area murder case that made national headlines, the mistrial in the murder of a Boston police officer. His girlfriend, Karen Reed, now facing a second trial, charged again. She's now speaking out, giving her full version of the events as they unfolded that night. At this hour, the breaking news involving Boeing's Starliner spacecraft that just left the International Space Station, leaving 2 American astronauts behind. So when and how will they get home? And the tributes pouring in tonight for the musician and his singular sound.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Friday night. There is news coming in, the FBI foiling an alleged terror plot that they say would have targeted Jews in New York City. But we are going to begin tonight with the dramatic scene in court after the deadly high school shooting in Georgia. The 14-year-old alleged shooter shackled in court, and then minutes later, his father also shackled in that same courtroom, facing murder charges too. 14-year-old Colt Gray being tried as an adult on 4 counts of felony murder. 2 students and 2 teachers died in the shooting. The judge telling the 14-year-old he faces life in prison. And then his father, Colin Gray, 54 years old, charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Tonight, authorities say the father allowed his son access to the assault-style rifle used in the shooting. And sources tell ABC News the assault-style rifle was a Christmas gift from his father. ABC's Faith Abube leading us off from Georgia again tonight.
Tonight, the extraordinary scene, a son and minutes later his father appearing in the same Georgia courtroom, both charged in connection with the murders of 2 students and 2 teachers. 14-year-old accused school shooter Colt Gray sitting in front of grieving relatives of his alleged victims, his hands and feet shackled, face covered by his long blonde hair, sitting at the defense table facing the judge.
Good morning, sir. Are you Mr. Colt Gray?
Yes, sir.
The judge outlining the charges.
You are charged with 4 counts of felony murder.
A short time later, the alleged shooter's father, 54-year-old Colin Gray, brought into the same courtroom, emotional, rocking back and forth in the chair, looking down, his eyes closed at times. The father charged with multiple counts of second-degree murder and manslaughter, accused of allowing his son to have access to the AR-15 style rifle used in the shooting. And sources telling ABC News this past Christmas, he gave his then 13-year-old son the gun used in the shooting as a gift, just months after investigators interviewed both of them about a school shooting threat his son allegedly made online. And tonight, Emma Angulo, the heartbroken mother of 14-year-old Christian Angulo killed in the shooting, speaking out.
No merecía esto.
He didn't deserve this. He didn't deserve to die like this, she says, adding, I miss him. I wish this was just a dream. Late today, we spoke with Jackie Garcia, whose 15-year-old daughter, Melanie, was one of the 9 people injured in the shooting.
This boy came in, opened the door, and just opened fire. And she saw her friend get hit and basically just die. And she didn't realize how she got shot. She just knows that she saw everybody dropping to the floor, smoke, and just gunshots everywhere. Melanie called me. She started crying, saying, "Mommy, I was shot." And that's kind of when I just lost it.
She says her daughter heard the shooter yelling in the hallway that he was going to kill everybody. Tonight, demanding justice.
His father also now charged. We're both in court today. Just any thoughts or questions or anything you would say to them?
His dad should be ashamed. He knew. He gave his son the key to this. His dad deserves to be there right by his son's side because that's where they belong. And I hope and pray that they never are able to see freedom again.
And David, this case is testing the responsibility of parents in ways we've only seen one other time in this country when it comes to deadly school shootings. So authorities say in this case, the suspect's father knowingly allowed his underage son to possess a gun. David.
Faith Abube on this again tonight. Thank you, Faith. We're also following this developing story in New York City. The FBI says it has now foiled an alleged plot to kill Jewish people in New York. Let's get right to our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky. And Aaron, you're learning tonight that the plot was aimed to take place on highly symbolic days.
One of them, October 7th, David. This is a person identified as Mohammed Shahzeb Khan. Federal prosecutors said he fell under the spell of ISIS and posted images of ISIS propaganda. Court records said he began talking about a coordinated assault with AR-style rifles to target Hasidic Jews in Brooklyn. New York is perfect to target Jews, the criminal complaint quotes him saying. We are going to NYC to slaughter them. He even proposed those symbolic dates for the alleged attack, October 7th, the anniversary of the Hamas attack on Israel, or October 11th, Yom Kippur, the holiest day on the Jewish calendar. The FBI was able to alert Canadian authorities before Khan crossed the border. And tonight, David, he's facing charges that could put him in prison for 20 years. David.
Deeply unsettling, Aaron. Thank you. We turn to the race for the White House tonight. The ABC News presidential debate just 4 days away now, next Tuesday night, of course. Former President Donald Trump, meanwhile, in New York today. The judge setting the date now for Trump's sentencing in the hush money case. He says Trump will be sentenced after the election, and tonight the judge's reason why. But it was actually a different case that Trump addressed today in front of the cameras, and here's Rachel Scott.
Today, the judge in Donald Trump's hush money trial handing him a significant win, agreeing to delay his sentencing until after the election. Trump was convicted in May of 34 counts of falsifying business records to cover up a hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels. He was set to be sentenced on September 18th, but today Judge Juan Merchan moving the hearing to November 26th. Quote, to avoid any appearance, however unwarranted, that the proceeding has been affected by or seeks to affect the approaching presidential election in which the defendant is a candidate. Judge Merchan writing his decision best advances the interests of justice, noting this matter is one that stands alone in a unique place in this nation's history. Hours earlier, Trump found himself in a different court on a different case, appealing the civil ruling that found him liable for sexually abusing writer E. Jean Carroll. Trump wasn't required to show up for the hearing, but he chose to go, later venting to reporters at Trump Tower.
It's a ridiculous case. Remember, it never happened.
And he attacked his own lawyers, even as they stood behind him.
I'm disappointed in my legal talent, I'll be honest with you.
Trump billed the event as a news conference, but didn't take a single question, and said complaining for nearly an hour about the women who have accused him of sexual misconduct. About 24 women have come forward over the years. Trump has denied all their claims. Today, he called some of them out by name, including Jessica Leeds, who accused him of groping her on a flight in 1979. Trump went into descriptive detail in his effort to discredit her.
I'm in a plane. People are coming into the plane. And I'm looking at a woman, and I grab her, and I start kissing her and making out with her. What are the chances of that happening? What are the chances? And frankly, I know you're going to say it's a terrible thing to say, but it couldn't have happened. It didn't happen. And she would not have been the chosen one. She would not have been the chosen one.
All this as Trump seeks to win over women voters. On his way out the door, Trump was asked how that's going.
I'm doing great. Doing great with women. We're doing great with women.
Again, David, Donald Trump did not have to be in that courtroom today. He then flew to North Carolina for an event with the police union. The former president's advisors and says he's not doing any formal preparation for the debate, which is now just 4 days away, David.
Rachel Scott, the debate right here on ABC, as you know. Thank you, Rachel. The other major political headline tonight, a major endorsement for Vice President Kamala Harris. George W. Bush's Vice President Dick Cheney tonight saying he will vote for Harris, the conservative Republican and foreign policy hawk, and what he's now saying about why he will vote for the vice president. Here tonight, Mary Bruce.
Tonight, a once unthinkable turn. Republican stalwart Dick Cheney, George W. Bush's hawkish vice president, declaring he will vote for Kamala Harris in November. The announcement made by his daughter, former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney.
Dick Cheney will be voting for Kamala Harris.
The Cheneys presented a united front on Capitol Hill on the one-year anniversary of the January 6th attack, two of just a handful of Republicans to mark a moment of silence. Today, in a statement, Dick Cheney saying there has never been an individual who is a greater threat to our republic than Donald Trump. He tried to steal the last election using lies and violence to keep himself in power after the voters had rejected him. He can never be trusted with power again. As citizens, we each have a duty to put country above partisanship to defend our Constitution. Liz Cheney recently announced she too is backing Harris. Her announcement comes just days after John McCain's son, Jimmy McCain, a veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan, announced he's left the Republican Party, become a Democrat, and will vote for Harris too. Harris, for her part, is deep into debate prep in Pittsburgh, hinting in a local radio interview how she plans to go after Trump.
I think it's important for people to not get distracted by, his name on a tower when we ought to look at the fact that he bankrupts businesses that he's involved in.
The vice president drawing a sharp contrast.
Unlike my opponent, who had a rich daddy who helped him start his career, and then he went bankrupt multiple times. I come from a middle-class background, raised by a working mother who put all of her hard work into me and my sister Maya.
Harris is now intensely preparing, but no question she is heading into this debate with momentum on her side, and the fundraising numbers tonight reflect that. Harris raising $361 million last month. That's more than double the $130 million raised by Trump. David.
All right, Mary Bruce with us all week long. Mary, thank you. And of course, the ABC News presidential debate just 4 days away next Tuesday night right here on ABC. Vice President Kamala Harris, former President Donald Trump on that stage together. The first time they'll be together actually in the same room. I'll be moderating with our Lindsay Davis the debate here on ABC, 9 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday night. We should also note tonight that Sunday morning on ABC's This Week, an exclusive interview here with former Congresswoman Liz Cheney. Jonathan Karl with Cheney and her decision and her father's decision to now support Kamala Harris. We continue with the news this Friday night into the record heat and flash flood concerns across several states. And in the Northeast, a new system moving in. It'll include Philadelphia and New York City. So let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Cecily Tynan from our station, WPVI in Philly, back with us tonight. Hey, Cecily.
Good evening, David. The relentless rain across the South continues. Flood watches remain in effect from New Orleans to Jacksonville, where an additional 6 inches plus could fall. Now, tomorrow, that heavy rain spreads north into the Carolinas. At the same time, there's a cold front sweeping to the east, so that means showers tomorrow from Philadelphia, New York to Boston. And there's low pressure that's going to be spinning offshore. That creates high surf and rip currents from Delaware north through Maine. Out west, the late season heat wave, that continues. More record highs possible from Southern California into the northern Rockies. Thankfully, over the weekend, though, temperatures will be stepping down. David?
All right, Cecily Tynan here on a Friday night. Cecily, thank you. Next tonight here, the White House saying it is deeply disturbed and calling for an investigation after an American Turkish citizen was killed today in the West Bank. The 26-year-old activist was fatally shot in the head when clashes erupted between anti-settlement protesters and Israeli defense forces. The IDF says their soldiers were attacked. They are reviewing the circumstances of the American-Turkish woman's death. Back here in the U.S. tonight, into the Boston area murder case that made national headlines, the mistrial and the murder of a Boston police officer. His girlfriend, Karen Reed, now facing a second trial, charged again. Tonight, her version of the events as they unfolded that night. Later tonight, the 2-hour 2020. Here's Matt Gutman with a first look.
It was the high-profile murder trial that captivated millions and divided a tight-knit Massachusetts suburb.
Justice for JJ!
And now, for the first time, Karen Reed, accused of killing her Boston police officer boyfriend, is giving her full version of events that night.
Would you say that you were angry with John that night?
Yes.
Could you have been angry enough and slightly drunk because he had annoyed you that in the fit of rage you just backed up? And
Never.
Prosecutors accusing then 41-year-old Reed of hitting her boyfriend, police officer John O'Keefe, with her SUV in 2022 after a night of drinking, and then leaving him to die in the snow. Reed says she last saw John after dropping him off at an after-party at a home on Fairview Road. She says she awoke in the middle of the night and he wasn't home.
Now I have an immense sense of dread, like a fright in me that I have not experienced before.
Investigators finding pieces of a taillight they say is from Reed's car at the crime scene. Reed was later charged with second-degree murder and pleaded not guilty. ABC News granted exclusive access behind the scenes as Reed prepared for her trial.
Hiding out like this, you just watch the world pass you by and you're going through the motions, pun intended, and but you know it could all end. I could be convicted.
Reed's defense team arguing in hearings that the injuries on John O'Keefe's body were not consistent with him being hit by a car. They claimed she was framed.
There are people in that house that are actually responsible for his death.
The prosecution insisting that no one at the party had anything to do with O'Keefe's death, saying he never even entered the Fairview Road home, and they denied that Reed was being framed.
I'm declaring a mistrial in this case.
But after 29 days, the jury deadlocked. And David, despite that mistrial, Karen Reed's legal woes are far from over. She faces those murder charges again in a retrial set for January of 2025. And in civil court, she faces a wrongful death suit brought against her by John O'Keefe's family. David.
All right, Matt Guppin with us tonight. Matt, thank you. Matt's full interview with Karen Reed on 2020, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC. In the meantime, when we come back tonight, just in this evening, news involving Boeing's troubled Starliner spacecraft. It has now just left the International Space Station, and it has left behind the American astronauts. So when and how will they get home? And tonight we remember a music legend. You'll definitely know his singular sound. Tonight, just in, Boeing's troubled Starliner spacecraft is now on its way back to Earth. It undocked from the International Space Station just a short time ago, in fact, leaving the two astronauts it brought there behind. Their stay was meant to be 8 days, by the way. They'll now be there through February. Problems with the spacecraft made it too risky to carry the astronauts back. When we come back here tonight, the surveillance of the mountain lion roaming the streets, families told to shelter in place for hours. And we remember a music legend tonight. To the index, a mountain lion causing concern in Salinas, California. Families told to shelter in place for several hours in the overnight hours. Surveillance showing the mountain lion running through the streets at the front doors of several homes. Families urged to keep their pets indoors. When we come back here tonight, the tributes pouring in for an iconic musician tonight. Finally tonight here, remembering legendary Brazilian musician Sergio Mendes, his band Brazil 66. Tonight here, his singular sound. Music legend Brazilian-born Sergio Mendes brought bossa nova to America in the 1960s. His hit song Mas Que Nada topped the charts worldwide. Music critics would call his sound deceptively sophisticated while easy on the ears. There was Going Out of My Head.
Well, I think I'm going out of my head. Yes, I think I'm going out of my head.
Decades later, the top 10 1983 hit, Never Gonna Let You Go.
I'm never gonna let you go. I'm gonna hold you in my arms forever.
And the James Bond title song, Never Say Never Again. More than 6 decades of music, more than 30 albums, 3 Grammys. Sergio Mendes' family saying he died overnight at 83, his family by his side. And tonight here, Sergio Mendes, in his own words, on his music and his longevity.
I'm very curious. I want to learn, I want to know, about this, about that, but not only music, in life. I'm very grateful, and it's been a wonderful ride.
wonderful sound. It takes you back. I'll see you Monday. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.